Hey everybody, and welcome to another Cricut craft tutorial. Before we get started, make sure you hit that big red subscribe button down below. I would love to have you as part of my crafty family here on YouTube. And don't forget to check me out over on TikTok and on Instagram as well. I post a lot of fun content both of those places. Today, we're going to make some really fun earrings out of Cricut Party Foil. I love the Cricut Party Foil, but most people just use it for really simple things like table scatter or personalized glitter, things like that. And I just wanted to think out of the box a little bit. And I love the Party Foil because it weighs almost nothing. So people make a lot of earrings out of faux leather, but I find them to be a little bit heavy. So I wanted to find an alternative, and I think this worked really well. This is a double layer earring, so this weighs nothing. And it's beautiful and shiny and sparkly, and it's really, really fun to do. I'm going to show you guys how to cut this, but also down in those comments below, let me know if you are done with your holiday shopping yet, or if you're making personalized gifts. Let me know. I would love to hear from you guys, and I love reading the comments section. It always means so much to me when you guys start a nice conversation. It's a lot of fun. But we're going to go over to Design Space, and I'm going to show you guys how to set all these up, how to choose all their colors, all the fun stuff, and I'm also going to show you guys the custom setting that I used to cut the Party Foil. The Party Foil setting from Cricut didn't work that great for me, so I changed it up and got it to work really, really well. So I'm going to show you guys how to do that in case you're having any trouble cutting Party Foil. I'll also link below all the products that I used so that you guys can make your own Party Foil earrings. These are great for all sorts of events and holidays, and what I love about it is it's super inexpensive. So if you wanted to make yourself a specific pair of earrings to celebrate a holiday or a birthday or something like that, you could totally do that, and they're very inexpensive. You wouldn't be wasting a lot of money making them for something you're going to wear once. So let's go over to Design Space and let's get started. We're going to upload our earring images, so I'm going to click Upload Image and then Browse. And I'm going to go into my earring folder where I have all my earrings. So I know that I want to use the earring 2 from the butterflies. So I opened that one, and we're going to use this one here. So just click Save, and I'm going to do a couple different ones for you. So let me get these all uploaded. So you just go to your earring folder, and you can kind of find whatever you're looking for. So I'm going to use these feather ones as well. Now with this one, they give you a right and a left, but we really only need to load one of them. So we're just going to go ahead and load the right ones, click Save, and I'll show you guys how to fix that. And then we're going to load one more earring. We're going to click Browse again, and I'm going to go back to my earrings folder, and I'm going to upload earring 7, and I'm going to use this file right here. This is actually your SVG file, even though on some computers it might show as an HTML document. So go ahead and load that. And because we're doing SVGs, this is super quick and easy, and it's really, really fun. So what I'm going to do is hold Control on my keyboard and click the 3 images that I want to use for my earrings and insert those images. Now this may take a moment to load. The feathers do have a lot of information in them, so just keep that in mind. But what I'm going to do is do the feathers first. So what I want to do is click Ungroup, and I'm just going to use this feather. So what I can do is select all of the other feathers and just delete them out of the design. We don't need them. Now I think that almost 4.5 inches is a little too big for an earring, so I'm going to take this down to about 3.5-ish inches. You can kind of measure and figure out what you like as far as sizing is concerned, but I think that's probably about where I want it. I'm going to make this one a little bit bigger, not too huge, and then I'm going to take this one, and I actually think that size is pretty good, but let's make it just a little bit bigger. So now this one here is actually set up to cut with faux leather and HTV, and HTV would be the darker purple. But we want to actually do this as a 2-layer earring. So it's going to be really, really cool. But what we need to do is actually a couple of things. What I'm going to do first is I want to duplicate it. I'm going to move this off to the side because we're going to hold on to this one for 1 second. And then what I want to do is select this one, and I want to click the word Slice. What that's going to do is it's going to remove all these purple spots and just leave us with this really nice outline. So we can go ahead and delete all of those. And then what I want to do is take the one that I duplicated and ungroup it, and just go ahead and get rid of those dark purple spots. I'm going to change this back to dark purple just so we can kind of see what it looks like, and then what I want to do is click on the dark purple one and click send to back, because that is going to be our back layer for our butterfly earring. That way it cuts easier, you don't have to try to use glue or anything, and you don't want to do glue or heat with the foil. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and select this one and duplicate it. Now with this one, I need to make sure that I mirror the image or flip it. That way they're not facing the same way when you go to make them. So what I'm going to do is just go ahead and flip horizontal. Now with the foil, it's the same color on the front and the back, so technically you don't have to do this. You'll just need to make sure that you do have the earrings set up correctly when you go to put the hardware on. But I'm going to need to do the same thing for the feathers, so I can just duplicate it, and I can either make sure that it's flipped the same way, or just for my own sanity, so I make sure that I don't forget anything, I do like to flip it on the screen. But again, it doesn't matter. You can just, they're the same on the front and the back. And then I'm going to duplicate this one because, again, we need to make sure we have 2 earrings. Once you have done all of that, you can just simply click Make It. However, I needed to make a custom cut setting for my party foil. I tested this a lot, and I really wasn't having much luck cutting on the party foil setting. So what I did was, if you go over to these 3 lines in the upper left-hand corner and click them, it brings down a menu. And what you can do is go to the Manage Custom Materials. It's going to ask you what machine you would like to manage those materials for, and I'm going to do it with my maker. Make sure your machine is on, or it won't bring up your custom materials settings. But what I'm going to do, and they've done this in a way that makes more sense than they used to, it's all alphabetical now, so it's really easy to find the setting that you want to take a look at. Now, I've done this, so I already have my setting done, but I'll show you guys how to do it. It's really easy. So I'm going to scroll all the way down to the P's and find party foil, which is right here, kind of in the center of the screen. And they have the party foil settings set to 277 pressure with a double cut off, and they're using the fine point blade. That just didn't cut real well for me, and I just had a lot of problems with it. So what I did was I went all the way down to the very bottom of the menu. And what you can do is click Add New Material. And I called mine Party Foil Custom. Now I'll just make this and I can always delete it later. But whenever I make a custom setting, I make sure to note that it's my own custom setting, just for my own kind of knowledge. And then you just click Save once you've named it. Now what you can do is check where you have your name, and you can change it from here too. And then it's going to give you your pressure options, your cutting options, and your blade options. This one didn't need a double cut, but I did need to up the pressure all the way up to 350. So I went ahead and just saved that as my cut setting, and you'll see now that you have Party Foil Custom. Now again, I did already make this one, so I have 2 of them now, but that's okay. You can always go back and delete one. So once you finish that, just close out of your menu, and then you can click Make It. It's going to break down everything just like it does when you cut vinyl into your different color mats. Go ahead and click Continue, and we're going to select our custom setting that we just made. Again, you'll want to do some test cuts to see what works best for your machine. Your machine may work great on the preset Cricut setting, or you may need to make your own setting. So what we'll do now is click Browse All Materials, and all you need to do is search the word Party. It's going to bring up your party foil settings, and I'll choose the Party Foil Custom that we just made, and click Done. And just like with everything, it's going to ask you what pressure you want, and then it'll tell you what tools are needed. We are ready to go over and load the machine, so let's do that. I'm going to show you guys some tricks to cutting the party foil, keeping it on your mat, and making sure that you get a successful project. So before you load your party foil onto your mat, I'm going to take the plastic off. And you can tell my mat is pretty sticky, which is good, but it's not good enough for the party foil. It really needs a good place to stick. And I kind of find the double sticking works really well. So what I do is I use transfer tape, and I just put a layer of transfer tape down on my mat so that I can easily lay my party foil on top of that. Now I didn't cut this one super straight the last time I cut some transfer tape off of it, so I'm going to go ahead and give this a slightly straighter edge. It doesn't need to be perfect, but I do want to just give it a little bit straighter edge. So what I do is I'm actually going to do this one at the bottom. So I'm going to have all of my stuff cut down here. It's a little bit stickier down there, and I don't need a lot of the transfer tape. I just need a small amount because none of my earrings are very long or big, so you can just go a few inches down, and then I just like to give it a good trim. And I'll relay this down because it is kind of bubbled in one spot, but you want it to lay relatively flat. And don't worry, you can peel it up if you didn't get it quite right because you are putting this sticky side up. So then I just kind of try to get it as flat as I can. It doesn't always love to lay super flat, but I try to get it pretty flat. That way your party foil has a good surface to stick to. And don't put your hands too much on the transfer tape because you want it to stay sticky. Once you've got that down, and it's okay if it goes over the top a little bit, totally fine. I'm going to slide this out of the way, and then this is what we're using. We are using party foil. This is a really fun product, but it's definitely an interesting adventure to work with this because it doesn't like glue. It doesn't really like tape. So any time you want to like adhere it to itself, you really can't. It needs to be done with string or brads or jump rings, things like that. So that's why, for me, I thought these would be a really fun option for earrings because, again, I think the leather ones can get a little bit heavy, and I can't wear earrings anyways, but I thought these would be such an easy project to do. They would be a great, quick stocking stuffer. I don't know why I'm even trying to save this wrapper. I don't need it. But they're going to be an awesome, easy stocking stuffer to do. They make great little hostess gifts, and it's really simple. And the party foil is pretty inexpensive. You can get these in mystery boxes, but then they also have a bunch of them on the website. I'll link the party foil down below from both Cricut and on Amazon. You get a lot of party foil in your roll. You can see it just goes on and on and on. So you get a lot, and you get two different kinds. You get this really fun sparkle, or you also get this kind of more plain matte kind. It's not even matte, but just single color. We're gonna cut on the single color and not the holographic. So I'm gonna roll up the holographic, and I keep this roll because I will put the party foil back in there sometimes if I can't get it to stay rolled on its own. This is definitely an interesting product. It does not love to stay rolled. It doesn't like to be kept anywhere. It just likes to unroll itself. So definitely an interesting product to work with. So now what we're going to do is load our mat. And what I do is I'm going to pull my door down. And instead of trying to cut this party foil off, I'm going to just lay it over the machine. And I put my door down on my machine, and I put my mat right under my door. So just the edge of my mat is sticking out. There's a little piece of tape on there, so I'm going to take that off. And then all I do is I place the top of my party foil onto the top of my mat, evenly as I can. And then I just roll my party foil back down my mat. And it's okay if it sticks to the bottom, it's totally fine. And then all I do is let the excess hang off. So it's really, really easy. We're gonna go ahead and load our mat, and I'll pull the machine down and let you guys watch it cut. Once your machine is done cutting, just unload it like normal. I'm going to slide the machine out of the way. And I'm going to show you guys real quick. This is super easy to unload. So all we're going to do is just take our party foil and peel it off. And you want to try to keep the transfer tape on the mat. So sometimes it doesn't want to stay. And that's okay. You just have to mess with it a little bit. But you do want to try to keep that transfer tape on the mat. And you'll see that if you just peel carefully, the transfer tape does stay. Because this transfer tape can be used over and over again with the party foil. The party foil doesn't really take away any of the stickiness. Now all you need to do is simply peel off your feathers or your earrings or whatever style you're doing from your transfer tape, which you can just take and bend the mat just a little bit to get your finger under this. If you're having trouble getting that, you can just use a pin pen. And these will relax a little bit once they've laid out. It's because the foil was rolled, but once it's not rolled, it'll relax itself out. You can also put these under like a heavy book or something to help them lay flat. But we're gonna go ahead and cut the rest of our earrings in a nice quick succession for you guys. And you'll note that it doesn't cut through the transfer tape, which is really good. So once we're done with this, we can just peel the transfer tape right off, and it's super easy to do. So I'm gonna go ahead and load the rest of our colors, let everything cut, and I'll show you guys how to assemble the earrings. Now we're ready to add our jump rings and our earring hooks. Now again, these will lay flat once they have kind of sat out a little bit, but because they were wrapped up so tight, they're gonna roll. So what you'll need is a ring tool. This is a super handy metal ring that has 4 different sized slots in it, and this is for opening jump rings. It makes life so much easier. You're gonna need some jump rings and some earring hooks. I have everything linked down below for you guys that I use. I got a huge set of these jump rings from Amazon. They come in a ton of sizes, super easy to work with. I am not fantastic at working with jump rings. I'm gonna preface this because I just can't do it. I don't know. It's not a skill I possess. So I'm gonna do my best to show you how to do this, but I'm not great at it. So what you'll need is take your jump ring into your jewelry pliers. Find the slot that matches the size of your jump ring and then just give this a little twist. So what you're gonna do once you have your jump ring open is we are going to slide in our purple butterfly first, and then we'll put the pink one in after that. You wanna make sure that you've matched them up so that they're facing the correct direction. You definitely wanna make sure that they face the right way. What I love about these is, again, that it's so easy to get them on the jump ring. So then you'll take your jump ring, place it back into your ring tool, and twist it back closed. Just make sure you have a good closure on that. That looks pretty good. So we have one set of jump rings here, and I'll just do one full earring so you guys can see how to do it, and then we will go ahead and do the rest pretty quickly. But you don't want to put your earring on it this way because it's going to hang sideways. So you'll need to add another jump ring. This is one of those things that I just am not an earring wearer and I would have never thought of, but thank gosh somebody told me that because I would have never thought about which way they hang. So again, we're going to take one more jump ring, open it, and that's partially why I'm using the really small ones as well, because I want to make sure that they're not going to be too much earring. So then I place the second jump ring in, and then you want to make sure to kind of pay attention to which way you put your earring hook, and you're going to place that in. Then you're going to go ahead and do the jump ring again, where you're just going to twist it a little bit. You just want to get it into that slot, and it's not always super easy once you've got a couple things on the jump ring because you need to kind of work around all the stuff that's on the jump ring. But once you have everything hooked up, you have an earring, complete with an earring ring and everything. And this is super easy, really inexpensive, and a fun way to just sort of use these party foils. And this is so light compared to the leather. So I'm going to go ahead and put the rest of these together really quickly for you guys, and then I'll show you everything all finished. And here are our 3 finished sets of earrings. Again, I really do struggle with the jump rings, and I apologize that parts of that were not in frame, but I have a really hard time with them. So I am not the jump ring expert, but I do think that the ring tool is super helpful. I just need a lot more practice when I'm working with the jump rings. So please forgive my poor work with a jump ring. But these are such a fun and easy project, and again, really, really inexpensive, and I really think fairly unique. They are really fun, and they're great for anybody. You can make these for any occasion. Anybody who loves a good pair of earrings or something fun, you can absolutely make these. Again, they make great stocking stuffers, great little extra gifts for friends and family. So if you guys have any questions, please let me know in the comments down below. I always love to hear from you guys. Hit that big red subscribe button because I would love to have you as part of my crafty family here on YouTube. I hope you all have a wonderful day and happy crafting.